To kick things off tonight, we're kind of sticking with the theme of age verification that has just so many stories of age verification between Discord, other countries, and things like that going on in the world right now. It's really interesting how a few years ago, a lot of governments, a lot of companies, everybody, they were pushing digital ID, and they're still kind of, and like very recently, I say a few years ago, but they've been trying to push this digital ID thing so they can literally track you online for as long as they want to and for whatever reasons that they want to, whether they believe you to be doing nefarious things or not. And California is actually introducing a law for age verification on all operating systems, including Linux and SteamOS. User age verified during OS account setup. So you go to the store, you buy a new computer. It has a Windows on it. It's got Linux on it. It's got Mac on it. It does not matter. In order to log into those systems, you have to create an account, and they want to age verify you in order. First of all, why do you need age verification for just to have an operating system on the operating system? Is just like, hey, you can use it. It literally is what makes the computer function. That's like requiring age verification to just own a vehicle. Guess what? If you're a young kid and you go, man, I'm going to buy this vehicle and I'm going to work on this vehicle, and then when I turn 16, it's going to be working. Like maybe you're a gearhead at a very young age and you want to buy an old classic car and your parents help you out. So you buy this old classic car and you're like, cool. And every time you go to the store with your cash that you're saving up from like mowing lawns or whatever, they say, well, we need to verify your age so that way you can just buy the parts to make the car work. That's what this is like. This is absolutely and again, it doesn't seem like these lawmakers even really care at this point. But California introduces an age verification law for all operating systems on your computer. So California's Digital Age Assurance Act, or AB 1043, signed by Governor Gavin Newsom in October 25, requires every operating system provider in California to collect age information from its users. To collect. I hate that. Why are you collecting my data? Okay, information from users at account setup and transmit that data to app developers via real-time API, with law taking effect on January 1, 2027. So if you live in the state of California and you want Windows, or you want SteamOS, or you want any OS in the state of California, there are other operating systems out there that people use. Linux is another popular one, but there are other smaller ones as well. But if you want to just own a computer and use a computer, you now have to provide your age verification, whatever that means. I don't know if that's going to require ID verification. I don't know if that's going to be picture verification, but you need to willingly give up your data to the operating system, and then they are going to transmit that data to app developers. So they're going to take that data from you and they're going to send it to other people. That's so secure. This is such a secure way to make sure that, we're just tracking people. I'm sorry, this whole idea that like it's for the children, again, if it were for the children, we would be, as a society, trying to tell parents, and we would be trying to let parents know to be responsible with their kids online. And they're not doing. This is not to protect the children. This is absolute. And again, they're not even hiding it. They want to, where did it say it? Collect age information, and then they want to transmit that data. How on God's green earth is this not just... Is this not being revolted by people? And this is the stuff, and it's already passed. It's going to hit in January 2027, which means, and guess what? Windows, SteamOS, any operating system, because California is such a mass market, this is going to affect the rest of the fucking world. The rest of the world, okay? The law's broad definition of an operating system provider Anyone who develops, licenses, or controls the operating system software on a computer, mobile device, oh my gosh, that's so Android OS, Apple OS, I mean anything, or any other general purpose communicating device. So Android, Google now has to take your data and send it to more people than they were sending it to already by law. A nefarious practice that we as people are like, we've been trying to move in the opposite direction. And now it is being codified in California law that bad practices that customers and consumers have been advocating against for years is now being codified into law as the practice that must be followed. This is absolutely insane. Pulls in not just Windows, Mac OS, Android, and iOS, but Linux distribution and Valve's SteamOS and any other operating system it wants to operate. Now they could just say, look, our operating system is not available in California. We're just not going to do that. This is absolutely insane. And again, they're going to collect your information and they are required to transmit that data. So not only is it a requirement for you to give your information to these companies by law now these companies are required to transmit it. Boy, that's interesting. According to AB 1043, OS providers must maintain a reasonably consistent real-time application program interface that categorizes users into 4 age brackets. Under 13, 13 to 16, 16 to under 18, and 18 or older, and hand that signal to any developer who requests it when their app is downloaded or launched. They legitimately are codifying into law that your data be taken and transmitted away. This is insane. We've been fighting against this as customers and advocating for consumer protection, that our data not be shared with other people against our will. And now it's being codified into law that you have to send it, you have to give it to these people. And now California is like, and not only that, they have to send it by law. These companies are now no longer required to protect your data. They're now required to share your data. Your data online is now being required by California law to be sent off and shared with other companies. Dude, this is going to open up so many fraud abuse cases. It's absolutely insane, because if you read here, okay, that signals to any developer who requests it when their app is downloaded or launched. You are going to see so many nefarious actors creating apps, okay, that are cheap or little stupid games or whatever. Chinese companies, Indian companies, it does not matter what company, European companies in the Middle East, okay, when their app is downloaded. So if they want to be on your, this is a gateway to fraud in other countries. This is a gateway to getting your data to other countries. This is absolutely insane. California, they are governed by morons. Actually, I won't even say morons. This is deliberate. This is absolutely deliberate. What the hell? Not only do they require you to give up your data, they're requiring the transmission of your data to any developer who requests it when their app is downloaded or launched. What in the absolute hell? Any developer who requests it. Are there amendments or anything that denies requests from, I don't know, Chinese companies or other foreign actors that we know are bad actors? No, fuck it. No. You need to send it to any, under penalty of law, any developer What? Oh my God. This is insane. This needs to be challenged in the Supreme Court. I thought this was bad when I read the headline. I did not realize how bad this was. Holy crap. Developers who receive the signals are deemed to have actual knowledge of their user's age range under the law, which shifts legal liabilities for age-appropriate content decision. Really? So how is California going to go after China? How are you going to go after companies in the Middle East that are collecting this data? How are you going to go after other countries, California, for not doing this? Appropriate content decisions onto them. Penalties for non-compliance run up to $2,500 per affected child or negligent violations, up to $7,500 for intentional ones, enforced by the California Attorney General. Let me know how that works out for you, California. When companies who have who are working in other countries decide they're not going to follow California's law, how are you going to collect? How are you going to collect these fines, these penalties for non-compliance? Are you going to go after other countries? Are you going to sue companies and $2,500 per affected? This is negligent. This is negligent to these people. Even if you ran up like 10,000 cases, a lot of these companies that are making billions, that's a pittance to pay. And guess what you're doing? You're giving them American data. You are giving foreign actors American data. This is fucking insane. Let me go to the split screen here, see how the split screen looks, because I haven't done this one in a while. Holy good effing Lord. What an absolutely insane, this is ridiculous. Let me adjust this screen here for you guys really quickly, so that way we can make sure that everything on the screen is seen. Oh, nope. That doesn't work that way. Oh man, this is what I am genuinely, I believe the old-timey word is flabbergasted. I am flabbergasted by this, guys. What in the absolute hell? What in the absolute hell? It is even this. This is ridiculous. Why is the YouTube? Okay. Holy crap. This is ridiculous. This is insane. Okay. The law does not require photo ID uploads or facial recognition with users, instead simply self-reporting their age setting. Okay, self-reporting, maybe that's a defense for this. Like, what is going on? Like, that's okay. Apart from similar laws passed in Texas and Utah that require commercially reasonable verification methods, such as government issued ID checks. Yeah, see, again, Texas and Utah aren't even helping us. Okay, Assembly members, there's a typo there. Buffy Wicks, who authorized the bill, said this avoids constitutional concerns by focusing strictly on age assurance, not content moderation. In a press release, the bill passed. Passed both chambers unanimously, 76-0 in an Assembly and 38-0 in the Senate. Oh, so Republicans voted on this, because there's some Republicans in California as well. This is insane. Despite signing it, Newsom issued a statement urging the legislature to amend the law before its effective date, citing concerns from streaming services and game developers about complexities such as multi-user accounts shared by family member and user profiles utilized across multiple platforms, whether the amendment. Oh, so it's just like, oh, so you can't even let your kids play on your Xbox account. Enforcement against Linux distribution, however, is likely to be problematic. Distros like Arch, Ubuntu, Debian and Gentoo have no centralized account infrastructure, with users downloading ISOs from mirrors worldwide and can modify source code freely. These small distros lack legal teams or resources to implement the required API. So a more realistic outcome for non-compliant distros is a disclaimer that the software is not intended for use in California. And that's what it's going to have to be. Holy shit. Dude, I thought this was going to be stupid. I thought this is nefarious. This is not. This is one. Obviously, what is it? It's Hanlon's razor or something like that. Never attribute malice that to which can be attributed to idiocy. This is malicious. This is malicious. They are willfully saying that under California law, your data must be transmitted by these companies to nefarious actors in other countries who are running apps on these OSs. This is insane. California wants to outsource your data to nefarious actors. This is absolutely insane. And again, we read earlier in it, by any developer who requests it. How many Americans in the US have a smartphone? I mean, is it a conservative amount to say 200 million Americans probably have a smartphone? Because you figure, voting age people, and then obviously we've got almost 400 million. We've got like 380 Americans, but a lot of those are still kids. Now, granted, I'm seeing young children with smartphones now, and that is not a good idea. But let's just say a nice round 250 million Americans have a smartphone. All of those have an operating system on them. All of those are required for age verification. And the companies being Android and Apple primarily are the big ones, are now required to send your data, your age verification data, to whoever wants it. Whoever wants it. They are required to do this. That's nuts. We got to start finding third-party OSs, and we got to start jailbreaking some phones and getting OSs off of that. Like, we've got to figure this out. This is, I'm genuinely taken back by this. I thought I was just going to read another story about some California stupidity that was happening. I did not expect. Probably more phones than people. Well, yeah, especially if you consider people who work for businesses that require you to have a business phone as well. And like, I've worked for companies that are like, nope, you've got to have a work phone. Here's your work phone. This is what you have. Which, by the way, anybody out there who's just like, oh no, like I hate having two phones. It's horrible. It's unbelievably horrible running two cell phones. I hated it. I pay for my own phone. Just let me use my own phone for work. Like, as much as I don't like that, I hate having two phones too. But yeah, again, this is insane. California at this point they are operating maliciously against the American people. And I don't know what more I can say against that. Yeah, that's not a very nuanced take. I did not realize this was going to be this bad. I was like, oh, yay, more age verification, guys. See, Discord's not getting away with it. They're not going to be able to get away with it. Guess what? Discord doesn't even need to do age verification now, because they operate on Windows, they operate on Linux, they operate on wherever, and that data must be transmitted to them by the operating systems. What? Dude, we're getting motherfucked by our own government. We're getting absolutely motherfucked by our own government. I would argue, let's pull out our handy dandy Constitution here. I believe Because this is mandated by the governments of the states, I believe this could potentially be a Fourth Amendment violation. Let's see. The right of the people to be secure in their persons, in their, it's very dark. In their persons, right? Houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrants shall issue but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched, and the persons or things be seized. So again, let's go for this first. The shall not be violated. The right of the people to be secure in their persons. This is what we're talking about. Okay. Houses, papers. That does. Okay. Houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated. And again, there's a lot of commas in there. I believe this is a Fourth Amendment violation requiring companies to share your data under the government rule. They're not saying that the government's going to take your data, but I believe that because this is a government mandate, this could potentially be a Fourth Amendment violation. I'm not a fucking lawyer, though, but this does not make me secure in my person, and I'm not going to blame Google, Windows, or anybody else. I'm going to blame the government who is making me unsecure, not so secure in my person, in my data. Or my papers being digital online data, because papers meaning just the form in which you carry your data on, right? Your information on. Well, now we carry our information digitally. Holy shit. This has got to get shared to some bigger people out there. This needs to have a larger voice on it. This needs to find your big YouTubers that you like to follow and just and try to get their attention. Join their Discords, share this with the big guys, because this is insanity that they are requiring your data to be sent off to other. That is not securing our data. That is horrifying. And they just do it. So any app developer, we know that most apps are made in China. We know that a lot of apps are made in Korea. We know that a lot of apps are made in other countries, and that it's just your age data bullshit. I would imagine it's not. I'm sorry. This needs to be stopped. This absolutely needs to be stopped, and this absolutely needs to be taken to the Supreme Court. And that makes some noise, guys. If you follow large YouTubers, here I will. I'll share the story. This is from Tom's Hardware. Okay, I want you guys to take this, and I want you guys to share this link. If you can copy and paste this link, take that link, copy it, paste it, share it with everybody. Make some noise about this. This is absolutely insane. Because this is being mandated by a government that companies do this, I believe that this is a breach of the Fourth Amendment. I believe it is. I might be wrong. But yeah, this is insane. Not only that, but again, it's any app developer who requests it. Did you know that governments make apps now? So California can be on these OSs. This is where I would make the Fourth Amendment violation. I would say that governments making apps can now request this information, which is an unwarranted. And it also, again, doesn't make me feel secure in my person. And any government that uses this, that requests this information, even in the United States, this is an unwarranted search or seizure of your personal data. I believe this is a Fourth Amendment violation. because California, they have the Poop Tracker app. That is a California, I believe that is funded by the Californian government. And there's several other apps out there that are government entities. So under California law, if any government entity requests this information, they can just get it. And these companies are required to send it to any developer, any app developer that wants it. This is getting fucking worse. Oh my God. Get this to the Supreme Court. This is bullshit.